as Daniel Lacalle. He's the chief economist at the Tressis hedge fund.
Holding on to cash or having your money in a basically savings account is not going to deliver any return whatsoever. And even if inflation is low, you're going to see that basically money is burning in your account. No, so what you basically need to do is to look for some type of inflation protection and to look for some type of risk-adjusted investments. Obviously, it depends on how each of us perceive our appetite for risk, but you certainly have to look for ways to protect your savings from inflation by having some of it in gold or silver or bonds or equities, depending, as I said, on your appetite for risk.
And you mentioned risk. Considering the negative rates from what I've seen, is it encourages banks to lend out money. Of course, if they have the reserves, it's going to get eaten away. And also, as you mentioned, it encourages households. They need to put their money in riskier assets. What kind of a society and economy are we looking at if this continues in the medium to long term?
This is a great question because we need to understand what interest rates are. Interest rates are the price of risk. And when you artificially bring down the price of risk, you are also encouraging excessive risk-taking from households, from governments, etc. So it's no wonder that when you introduce negative rates, governments spend more, they get more indebted because the yields at which their bonds are issued are low or negative in real or nominal levels. And as I said before, the typical household that would basically hold some cash or that would invest in very, very prudent assets cannot find any return in any of those ways of saving, and therefore has to take significantly more risk than what we probably perceive we are taking. So that is the big problem of negative rates, is that negative rates are the destruction of money. It's literally a way in which central banks are generating a massive transfer of wealth from savers and from salaries to the indebted and the risk takers. And it's no wonder that with negative rates, global debt has ballooned, and that at the same time we see that governments don't pay attention to fiscal prudence, that investors are buying stocks at multi-year high multiples. So we're seeing massive risk-taking all over the place. And we're building a society that instead of being based on prudent investment and savings, as a strong society is, it is based on massive debt and reckless spending.
It's incredible. Daniel, appreciate your analysis as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.